Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a very special Red Dragon lockdown chat. We've got world champion Peter Snakebite right with us. Peter, first of all, how are you? How are you coping with lockdown?
It's all right. It's driving me a bit nuts. I'm getting really bored. I'm getting fed up with Joe's to-do list. I just want to get back to darts, to be honest. Seeing all the guys and just playing some competitive darts.
Yeah, I suppose you moved into your new house. The list was endless as well.
Yeah. I'm getting through it, but I'd rather be throwing darts for some money and winning some titles.
Yeah, obviously as well. When you won the world title, I'm guessing you wouldn't be the stay-at-home world champion almost. It's been a bit of a letdown in terms of this should have been the best year of your career, being introduced as the current world champion everywhere, and you spent nearly half of it sat at home so far.
This is true. Yes, it's a bit annoying, but But I did say to Joe after I won the world, so I could do 6 months off. So it's sort of coming true. But at least I've been fully recharged for the rest of the year, though.
I was going to say, recharging those batteries is going to be important, isn't it? Because when we do come back, the schedule is going to be out of this world.
Yes, it will be hectic. Yeah, I normally do everything, but when I do everything, it's a different story. As you say, you can burn yourself out and then be no good for the World Championships or for the majors that we are going to play.
Obviously, the PDC's communication and all this has been brilliant, hasn't it? Have they kept, obviously, with them and the PDPA, they've kept all the players well informed of everything that's happening and everything that's going on?
Yeah, exactly. They're doing a fantastic job. All they're doing is following the government's lines and everything like that. So, everyone's got to stick by the rules. Everyone's stick by the rules, and I think the sooner we'll be back playing the darts and all other sports and everything else, everyone get back to it. But it is annoying. I'm hungry to go and play darts.
That last Premier League night in Liverpool when we spoke after you beat Michael Smith, did you ever imagine that would be the last time that we'd see darts on TV for a while?
Oh no, it's crazy. No, I was looking forward to it the following week because I was going to play Glenn in Newcastle, and he was telling me, kept bragging, he's got 500 people turning up just to watch him. Well, I said, well, what you get beat? Like, but we can't do nothing about it. I want to play, and obviously Premier League. I miss the Premier League. I miss the crowds. I miss that atmosphere. It's when you're not in that atmosphere for a long time, it's annoying. I want to get back on the stage where I belong.
I'm guessing as well, times like this, it makes you think and don't take things for granted in the future, doesn't it? Like, we've all not taken it for granted, but we all know, right, we've got darts here, and when that's taken away, you have to take a step back and think, actually, I really miss this.
Yeah, it's it's difficult. I don't know what I was saying to Joe as well. It's like I could retire in 2 years or whatever, and I'm just thinking, do I really want to retire? I don't think I could handle being at home. I'd actually miss the darts, so I might be hanging around for a few more years, and I thought I was going to retire.
In terms of practice, how's that gone at home? Has it been difficult to keep yourself motivated on the board, or have you still been putting in the hours that you always used to?
I haven't been practicing hardly at all. I think last week I threw about 9 darts, 12 darts, something like that. I've just been doing other bits, taking my mind off it, because I know we're not going to get back to any darts until probably July. I was hoping June, but then there was another announcement, and just after, obviously, the Prime Minister Boris saying on Sunday night and Monday there ain't going to be nothing until June, July, things opening up. So hopefully the PDC make an announcement on June the 5th for the match play and competitions in July. Fingers crossed for that. We can all get back onto that and have the match play. But obviously, it's got to probably be behind closed doors, isn't it? So yeah, maybe the crew who does the setting up can actually get cardboard cutouts, like 3 each side, and they could, and there's a few of them, a couple of meters apart, and they could stand up when someone hits 180 or something. And then the sound people can actually play some roar, going clapping or something.
Just talking about the match play there, obviously it's the second biggest ranked major that we have. And is there a danger that, say, the Pro Tours come back at the beginning of July, is that enough time to fit enough Pro Tours in for the qualification for the match play to be fair on the players outside the top 16?
It's obviously it's not going to be fair, but I think the PDC will just cram in loads of players' championships. Obviously, there won't be none abroad, so it'll just be players' championships, one after another and after another. And it's up to you if you decide to want to ruin your body. Oh, someone's at the door. Say bye to Belle. Yeah, but it'll be up to the player himself if he wants to, do that every single day, and then go to the match play for a whole week. So, that's where hopefully we'll be back and we'll be playing it, and then I'll be able to go, right, I'm only going to go to that many to keep myself fresh for the actual match play.
I'm guessing it'll be weird playing, say the match play does go ahead on the current date. That'll be very strange when it playing in that beautiful Winter Gardens arena with no one in there. That'll be very surreal.
Yeah. Well, they could have cardboard cutouts of people and put in there, couldn't they?
Yeah.
People could actually have photos of themselves and then have a competition to have themselves in the audience.
Yeah.
PDC could come up with something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it will be strange. At least it won't be as hot. At least it won't be because of the crowd in there. It won't be over 110 degrees on the stage. But,
no, there is that.
There is that. But, I think the players would like to play even without crowds, the crowds make it, obviously. You haven't got, if you're on a 9 dart, you haven't got the crowds going, ooh, ooh, ooh. That's the thing is, but, we'll have to manage. Let's get back to darts. That's the thing. Get back to the darts. Let's get back to playing the competitions and stuff like that. And then slowly, by the end of the year, hopefully we can start letting crowds back in and getting back to some sort of normality.
For yourself personally, is there a worry about travelling again once this all goes? Because I know a lot of other sportsmen in other sports have concerns about, is it going to be safe and everything like that. Have you got any concerns about that?
I know it's going to be probably a nightmare for, obviously, airport security, isn't it? For the people doing it, and obviously the people travelling like ourselves. We won't be able to have this get to the airport quickly and get on the plane, and we have to be there hours and hours and hours before, because you're going to have to be queuing up, you're going to have to be tested, and blah blah blah. You have to be wearing, obviously, maybe gloves and then your mask and everything like that. So it's going to be a long road. If you're going to be doing it by plane, it's going to be very difficult. Maybe the PDC can actually change some of the stuff and just like having it in Wales, have it in Scotland. Use it. I don't know. Use it well with England somehow, using other venues to run Europeans or something. I don't know. It won't be European, but sort of.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
We're out European now, I think so.
Yeah. Obviously, as well, the Euro Tour is somewhere where you've made your home over the last few years, and by the look of it, we're not going to get very much Euro Tour action at all this year, are we?
No, yeah, and I was looking forward to that this year, especially being world champion, Masters champion. I was looking forward to trying to beat the record of 5 titles in 1 year. I was going to try and beat that personally, just as a target for myself. But it doesn't look like we're going to play any of them, to be honest. We've got to try, hopefully get the World Cup in, and then all the other tournaments. We've already lost the Champions League, which I love that tournament. That's fun, that is, and You know, we can only do what we can do.
I'm guessing the ranked events have to take priority from a player's point of view, don't they, than the non-ranked ones. It's important that the PDC just get as many ranked events in as physically possible.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But you know, it will be hectic. You know, you're gonna have something on the weekend, and then I guarantee you'll have something during the week, and then guaranteed on the weekend you'll have something else. You know, it'd be like playing in the Premier League just for everyone else.
Yeah.
You'll have one day to get home and change your stuff, and then you'll be back out. So everyone will be like a Premier League player.
We saw you play as well on the PDC home tour as well. What was that like playing darts from home?
That's a nightmare. It's a brilliant idea. It's a really brilliant idea. But I like to play. Obviously, I like to see the player there. I like to see if they get nervous or if they're too confident. I could try and like slow them down or quicken them up or stuff like that. But then half the time the technical guys, things are going. Can you hang on a minute? Stuff like that. Because of the internet stuff. But it starts anyway. We've got lots of viewers watching it. So I'm playing again on Monday. Hopefully my performance will be better than last time. That was shocking. And but Jamie Lewis did play fantastic. But the other matches I was absolute rubbish. But I'll put a bit of practice in later and tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be all right on Monday.
As well, Dimitri van den Berg staying with you at the moment. What's that been like for the pair of you?
He's a nightmare. He only sees 11 o'clock in a day and 10 o'clock. Well, yeah. He doesn't get up before midday. Well, there's no reason he has to anyway, to be honest. But no, I think he's enjoying himself. He's helping us around the house and everything, doing all bits and everything for us. It's been fantastic. We have practiced together, a little bit now and again, like just doing finishing or doubles and stuff like that. But yeah, I was saying that last night. I said best of three, and on the old Yorkshire board.
Yeah.
I took up the Yorkshire board, but there's no trebles on it. I went up there, put it up, and said, "Come on, then, best of three." I beat him 2-0.
As well, away from darts, obviously, we know that your place is a bit like a farmyard as well. Or is that keeping you busy with all the chickens and everything like that?
Yeah. At the moment, me and Dimitri's building Joe a polytunnel to grow all the vegetables and fruit. But this polytunnel's 42 foot by 20 foot. It's not little. It's huge. So that's been a nightmare. That's doing my head in. But it's keeping me mind elsewhere instead of like cramming it on a dartboard when I don't need to at the moment. I need to keep your head fresh.
I'm guessing as well, like you said about keeping your head fresh, I'm guessing it's hard to motivate yourself when you don't know the actual start date and what you're aiming for. I'm guessing as soon as Barry goes, we've got a date, then it's head goes into game mode almost.
Yeah, exactly. But at the moment, over the past couple of days, I've been getting on the ball, knowing, fingers hopefully crossed, the match play's going ahead. So in that little bit, I'm actually getting ready for that.
Where do you think the game will be when we do come back? Because obviously the standard is through the roof, but this little dip where no one's playing or playing competitively, when we come back, do you expect a lull in the standard and before it comes back up again?
I don't know. It could go either way. Everyone's been practicing really well, and the standard be even crazier than it was when we went and stopped.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna be absolute diabolical, and there's going to be like 70 averages everywhere, with the odd 80, 85 maybe. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question, but what do you think?
I don't know. For me, I think the one that stands out is the ones that have put a lot of work in, we'll see, and the ones that have skipped a lot, I think we'll see as well. I think that it'll be a real acid test when we come back to see who's done what in the break.
Yeah, exactly. But that'd be that new thing as well. It's just like no one's played actually properly against each other
Yeah.
in person in a proper competition, and that's where all the nerves come in, and boom, all that nice smooth throwing, I think, goes out the window.
Yeah.
And then you're actually playing for the titles and the money and everything, and it's totally different.
I suppose one thing as well, Lee at Red Dragon would have liked this break because you haven't been pestering him every 5 minutes. Can we tinker with this? Can we tinker with that?
Oh, he's already. I got a new set of darts last week, modified on my World Championship ones, and I really like their ones. But whether I'll use them yet, I don't know. But it's modified on them. Yeah, it's a slight modification on it, and yeah, they go all right.
And again, obviously, you've lost out on part of the year as world champion, but it's not just you. There's so many players that have lost out on opportunities, haven't they? Like, obviously, Fallon, after the Worlds that she had this year, was billed as her year to build on it, invited to all the World Series events, and they've been taken away. The likes of Luke Humphries, that was hoping to build on his Premier League victory over Gary and maybe get a World Series invite. There's just so many stories across the darting world that will be felt, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not too worried about myself being like the world champion and not being announced and everything, because I'll be having it all next year again. So I'll be world champion again next year. See, so I'll get all that back. But for everyone, for Fallon, it's a shame because I was looking forward to New York and stuff like that. I know it's going to be in June, but just the World Series stuff. I was really looking forward to it this year, being announced as world champion, going down to Australia, New Zealand. That was going to be really special. As I say, for Luke Humphries, been playing fantastic darts recently. Before the break, and it's just a shame for them guys, as I say, who's that stepping stone, just that far away from where they are now to there, change their life completely. But everyone's got to start fresh again when we get the go ahead, and let's see how it comes through. It could be someone else completely.
We know before the break as well that you said you had MVG firmly in your sights. You believe that this was the year that you could have caught him as world number one. Does that just transfer over into the beginning of next year now then, that plan to catch him?
No, if I just win the Worlds, I'll overtake him anyway, don't I?
I think it'll be close then, yeah. Without me calculator out, but yeah, I think you're certainly close.
It'll be close, yeah. We'll see. I fancy winning the Worlds again. But yeah, I was wanting to, be on his tail for most of the year, be pushing it, trying to get the number one spot. But there's more important things like people's lives that we've got to worry about, keeping everyone safe, and then we get back, then I can get back to the darts, beating him up.
Peter, it's an absolute pleasure talking to you on lockdown here for Red Dragon, and thanks very much for taking the time out of us, champ. It's much appreciated.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Eddie. Take care. Cheers.